Howdy folks, it is Diecast Buffet here again, and after the most eventful Richmond race I ever saw, sarcasm intended, Denny Hamlin wins a overtime crazy finish, a little bit of controversy at Richmond. Oh boy, we got a lot to talk about. Maybe we don't, who knows. But that race win diecast, they'll probably offer it. I have no idea if it's going to get made, but hey, if you do, make sure to pre-order it over there at Circuit Diecast. The 124 and 164 most likely to be offered. And if you do, you can use that promo code diecastbuffet, save on shipping. So let's go ahead and hop to it, guys. That's for $30 or more for the new fan. Richmond. Arguably the most boring racetrack in NASCAR. Oh boy, it was. I'm telling you, man, I almost fell asleep during the Xfinity race. I learned my lesson. I had another cup of coffee during the Cup Series race to keep me going. I'm telling you, it was boring. Nothing happened except for the overtime finish, which was crazy. I don't know who's really at fault. Was it the 23 car? Was it Kyle Larson? I think Larson got loose and the 23 was already trying to make a move, so probably just racing. Finish happens at the end. Truex dominated like 80% of this race. Maybe not 80%, but most of it at least. He had the lead, about to take the white flag. He's on 2 to go. Larson spins out after contact with Bubba, and overtime finish. And I'm sitting here thinking, there's like 15 cars on the lead lap. Nobody tries 2 tires. Nobody even tries staying out. I'm sitting here thinking, if I'm the 16th place car, if everybody ahead of me is going to pit, stay out. Get a top 5. Who cares? I mean, that's what Bowman pretty much did in 21. You have to, when you get a late race restart, you have to swim upstream. You got to do what everyone else is not willing to do. Well, how did Ryan Newman win Phoenix in 2017? Try something. Can't hurt to try. They didn't do it. So Hamlin won the race off pit road. They had the restart. Hamlin, did he jump the restart? Did he not? I have no idea. I don't know the full context of the rule. Kind of looked like Truex was a little bit slow to the start, so who knows. He takes the lead. Truex doesn't even try to move him up the racetrack. They're teammates. Truex loses the race. Kind of lost his mind a little bit at the end of the race. After Hamlin won, he started hitting the back end of Hamlin's car. And during the final lap, he was hitting Larson, and Larson hit him back. Larson's just all, peachy after the race, just smiling and grinning. It's like, hey, I got a top 3. I was supposed to be dead last after spinning out. When he spun out, he only lost like a couple positions because he corrected the car, even went through some water that was near the pit wall. Anyways, Truex was not happy. He was very salty about it. I feel for the Truex fans, but if Truex really wanted to win that race, he would have moved Hamlin. It's just that simple. He didn't want to win it bad enough. I'm just going to shoot you straight. If you want to win a race at a short track, you have to be willing to move him. He didn't do it. I said before the restart even happens, if you want to win this race, you better move the guy ahead of you. He didn't do it. He didn't win. Too bad. Unfortunately, that's how it goes in short track racing. Larson, he got used up multiple times by Hamlin. Truex used him up. Larson actually retaliated. I was actually proud of him. That's the thing about stock car racing. Even if it's over something really stupid, if you don't retaliate and hit the other guy's car, you're just going to be a pushover. You're going to be a doormat. I'm glad to see Larson finally standing up against other drivers when they're PO'd. If they hit you, you got to hit them back. If they don't, everybody in that garage area knows you're a pushover. That's what happened at Pocono last year. That's what happened at Kansas last year. You have to be able to stand your ground, so I like that with Larson. Top 5 for Chase Elliott. About time. He does something. But let's talk about what really happened at Richmond. Pretty much nothing. Like, everything that I just mentioned happened in the last 3 laps. It's a 400-lap race. I'm telling you, I don't understand people's fascination with Richmond. I don't understand it. I truly don't. Every single NASCAR race I've watched at Richmond, it was average at best. The fact that this racetrack has 2 race dates a year, it's absolutely asinine to me. Even the Xfinity race was putting me to sleep. And I liked the winner. I mean, it had some interesting moments, but if it's not a crash or a restart, it's boring. That's how Richmond is. Like, the organic racing, that 80-lap green flag run, They're not racing hard. They're just minding their P's and Q's. It's not Las Vegas or not Michigan where they're racing hard, diving in the corner, a lot of speed. It's slow, it's flat, and it's boring. And I was sitting there thinking during this race, I'm telling you, I was struggling. I was getting sleepy, y'all. And I'm sitting there thinking, what if they took Richmond and made it a very high bank short track? How cool would that be if they made, I'm talking like Bristol banking, right? And it's all asphalt. So it's kind of like a Frankenstein version of Rockingham. And high bank the track in the corners. High bank the back straightaway because they don't have any grandstands back there. High bank straight, have a flat-ish front straightaway because that's where the grandstands are mostly consist of. The corners are super high banked. They'll have to remove a little bit of grandstands in 1 and 2. The first 2 levels, which they do that at Monster Jam events all the time, so no problem there. The back straightaway would be high banked as well. It would be super fast. It'd be super fun. It would be built for the next gen car, which races better at high banked, fast racetracks. It would race like a mini 1.5 mile, but with the distance of Richmond. I think it would be fun. And it would make Richmond go from, a negative to a positive. Because everybody, I see the comments. People they're posting like the little Z emoji when, when you're sleeping. A lot of people don't like this racetrack anymore. There's some people who still do, and that's great. I respect everyone's opinion on this channel. I think it would turn Richmond from the butt of everyone's joke to, wow, this is really cool. It would give it'd be easy to market. It'd be a brand new race. Fox would hype it up. It'd be a brand new event. The asphalt, I think, for Richmond has been around since, I think, the late 2000s, so it's not like it was repaved yesterday. I think it'd be a good move. I genuinely think Richmond could go from being one of the worst racetracks on the schedule to one of the best with a high-banked reconfiguration. And for the traditionalists, this track has been around, yes, since the 1950s, but it was heavily reconfigured in the mid-1980s. It was, I believe it was more or less kind of like a mini Homestead, just like a traditional Atlanta racetrack, the oval. And then they added that kind of front straightaway, the D-shape racetrack. So my point is, it has changed. And I believe it was actually dirt when it first came out. I could be mistaken. So it went through its progressions. Just a theory. I would love to see it. A high-banked Richmond. Not a little bit. I'm talking like Bristol Talladega banking. Super fast. Super fun. It would be great. Other than that, Richmond sucks. I told y'all for weeks. Don't get hyped up about it. They're going to show the 3 highlights they always do for every Richmond race. Harvick versus Rudd 03. Kyle Busch, Dale Jr. 2008. Edwards, Kyle Busch 2016. They show this every single year. Every single Richmond race. You want to know why? Because nothing else happens at Richmond. Look at the last time a Richmond race was considered great. I'm waiting. I can't think of any. I mean, it needs to change. As a stock car fan, I am a traditional stock car fan, but I like to think of myself as traditionally adaptive when it comes to NASCAR. Some things need to remain the same, but some things need to change. I believe the schedule should be what the current racing product is. The current racing product is not working at these racetracks. So you got to change them. Atlanta went from 1 race a year, maybe 30% filled grandstands. It was just an afterthought. And now it is 2 race dates a year, one of the best racetracks on the schedule. Look at the grandstands. Look at the hype. Look at the television ratings for it. That quickly, a racetrack can change if they adapt. And I think Richmond, it's time to adapt. That's just my theory. What do y'all think? Make sure to comment down below. Maybe you fell asleep during this race. I was close to it. Literally nothing happened. And it has nothing to do with the race winner. My guy Larson won this race last year. Buscher won the fall race, the summer race last year. I like both of those drivers. The races were still boring as all get. It was cool, though, seeing a night race, though. Night races have become far and few between. I miss night racing, man. We definitely need more nighttime races. There's something special about it. I don't care about the television ratings. Give me more night racing. And my last little tidbit on that, I feel like the reason why night racing doesn't have the greatest of television ratings is because a lot of that data is accumulated from really, really poor racing. I mean, if you take any NASCAR television ratings from the last 6 to 7 years, downward for most of those races and most of those years, because you had, the 500 horsepower Gen 6 era, that was bad. Every single racetrack was horrible. Michigan, Dover, you name it, right? So any night races you had in that era, you could pretty much throw them out the window because the racing was crap. And then you had the pandemic, that shook a lot of things up. My point is, it's not, I don't know, it's just not as accurate, I don't think, as some people might think it is. But I'm sleepy. I'm tired. Thank y'all for watching. Have a blessed one. Unfortunately, Martinsville's next. I love the truck race there. I love the Xfinity race. That's going to be a lot of fun. Temper your expectations for the Cup race. It might make you a little sleepy. That's all for now. Diecast Buffet. Signing